Unit 4, Graphing and Slope. Lesson 2, Part 1, Slope, a conceptual introduction. We're going to go over places that slope occur. So slope or steepness can be seen everywhere. For example, we can see it in our roads. Roads usually have some steepness to them. We can see it in our roofs to houses. And we can see it in ramps, like a wheelchair ramp. So starting off with roofs. The steepness of a roof of a house is referred to as the pitch of the roof by home builders. Now right here, the way they name a pitch is it's usually called a something 12 pitch. For example, this right here would probably be a 1612 pitch, and it would be called a 1612 pitch. That means for every 12 feet it moves horizontally, it moves 16 feet in the vertical direction. So around here in this local area, most roofs are going to be pretty close to a 412 pitch, and there are some roofs that are a lot steeper than that, but 412 is a really common pitch. Here's an example of the Malibu house. It's got a fairly shallow pitch. It looks like for 12 feet of run, it probably only has about 2 feet of height. So this would be a 12-2 pitch. Right here, this is more like what we would have in our local area. This one, for 12 feet forward, looks like it goes up about 4, maybe 5 feet. So that's probably a 412 pitch. A ski cabin. Now this one's getting pretty steep. It looks like on this one, for moving 12 feet, it looks like it goes up about 10, maybe a little bit more. So this would be about a 10-12 pitch. So think of one reason why some homes have roofs which have a greater pitch. Okay, one thing you might think about is things falling from the sky from clouds. Well, rain is fine, it's liquid, it'll run off of a roof that's not very steep. So if you get rain here in Malibu, it'll run off the roof fairly well. But snow, if you get snow and your roof is not very steep, the snow can build up and you can get too much weight on the roof and have the roof collapse on you. So why don't they make all roofs really steep? Because they are maybe a little bit better engineering wise. Well, they also cost more money, so it is a trade-off. A large building like the school would have actually has a flat roof, because putting an angled roof on top of a large building like a school would take a lot of materials. Not to mention, if the roof goes to the edge, then if there's a big pile of snow up there, it could slide off and land on a student walking on the sidewalk. So they tend to do flat roofs on large buildings, and they just have heaters in the roof and drains, and it just drains into the sewer. Okay, next, engineers refer to the slope of a road as grade, the grade of the road. Now, grades are measured in percents. Maybe you've seen a sign like this before. This is a sign warning of an 8% downgrade. Okay, and they use percentages. Now, remember from 7th grade that 8% means 8 per 100. So if this were a roof pitch, it would be 8 feet up for every 100 feet forward, but it's not a roof pitch, it's a road pitch. And, well, we'll come back to that in a sec. So a grade of 8% would mean that for every 100 feet that you run, you will rise 8 feet. And that doesn't look very steep. They've got a warning sign. This warning sign is exaggerated as far as how steep it is. But if you are sitting a large vehicle on a hill like this, it will gain quite a bit of speed and push it down the hill. So you gotta have pretty good brakes. Now, as far as slope is rise over run, and that's how they do the grade of a road. And as far as grades of a road go, you can go up quite a ways. Now, around here we don't have very many steep hills. I think 10% grade, we might have something around that like Metro Hill. But we can get all the way up 100% grade. That's 100 feet forward and 100 feet up. It does give you a nice 45-degree angle. That's pretty steep. Most vehicles would not be able to get up 100% grade. Very few actually would. And we can keep going up. Question might come up, what about a cliff? What is the percent grade of a cliff? It doesn't go forward 100 feet ever. So actually it doesn't have a percent. It's undefined, which we'll talk more about later. The world's steepest paved road is Baldwin Street. I think it's in Ireland. I don't remember. But it's got a 35% grade, and this is what it would look like from the side. Now that may not look very steep to you, but if I show you a picture taken from that road, a couple of pictures, you can see it's actually quite steep. This house right here is built level. This person is standing straight up. You can see that this is potentially a dangerous hill. If you park your car on it and don't properly set the brake, you could end up killing someone, damaging property, or causing some other mayhem. Okay, another thing about steepness. The steepness of wheelchair ramps is of great importance to handicapped persons. Now, ADA actually has some specifications on how steep wheelchair ramps can be, and the steepest it can be is with a slope of 1/12. That means it's got a rise of 1 for every run of 12 units. So for every 12 feet of run, you can go 1 foot up. All right, in general, we're going to have 4 types of slope we're going to see. It's all rise over run. A positive slope has positive rise and positive run. A negative slope would have a negative rise and then it would run, giving you a negative number. And zero slope, of course, is flat. That kind of makes sense. And undefined slope. The reason it's called undefined slope, if we consider this as going up 2 and then over 1, it'd be like 2 divided by 0. Now we know that you can't do 2 divided by 0. It is undefined. So vertical slopes are called undefined.